They walk in that room, they become yours. And you got this energy inside your soul that says, I am the number one determinant of the success or failure of my students. Hey, y'all, when you get back, kick some butt. I'll see you in the winner's circle celebrating your victory. Let's go. 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 Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
And we are live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to week 205 of the AP and New Principals Academy. Let me see who we got here. Ooh, it's a lot of y'all here. We got Mona Monologue. Appreciate you every week. She says greetings to myself and the Queen. We got Constance Sherrod. Good to see you out there in Mississippi. Dr. Rachel Edoweckett, who turned it out at the ASCD conference doing that closing keynote. So keep your eyes on her. She's doing big things. We got Rodney Richardson in the building down in Hampton, Takesha High, also in Virginia, Marsha Poe in San Diego, Dr. Rella Hicks is in the building, Denise Young down in Maryland, Grace Castaneda, Texas, Lysandra Brackens is in the building right here where I am in North Carolina. We got Yolanda McKinney. Good morning to you. Tashika Truesdale in Atlanta. Happy spring break, she said. We got the good Dr. Sheikah Houston, just finished up Create and Educate along with Dr. Tammy Taylor, taking care of business every Saturday morning at 10:30 Eastern time on Facebook Live. We got Michael Benson. Good morning to you, sir. We got Donna Medina Sherrigant in the building. Thanks for all the shares. Always appreciate you. We got where we at? We got Rashard Davis out there in Las Vegas. We got my wife, the Queen, out of this place. This the Hilton. We need to be the king and the queen of the Hilton, right? But we here. We got John Herricks in the building, Scott Wiley down there, I should say over there in Chester, up and over in Chester, West Virginia. We got my man Josh Tovar, MPA Jaguars. We got to hang out this past whatever day of the week that was. I have no idea, Josh. If I had to bet my life on it, I'd probably lose. I don't know what day we were together, but we were together one day this week. I barely know where we were. Were we in North Carolina, I think, right? So, it's crazy when you travel like I do, but good to see you and good to hang out with you. We got John Polignano out there in Tennessee. Good to see you. Said you read the Teacher 50 over the weekend, and that means you bless me. Sharon Wright is in the building. Dr. Demetrius Scott's in the building. Alan Q. Coart's in the building. We got Sean Hurt. He just finished up 10 o'clock to 10:30. Sean Hurt, 10 o'clock, Facebook Live every Saturday morning. Check him out. Always dropping them jewels, man. I don't know where you're going to find that information anywhere else. And also Dr. Sheikah Houston and Tammy Taylor at 10:30. I don't know where you're going to find information like this, really. And then Josh Tovar and Dean Packard on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. Eastern time, are all of these, but I don't know where you're gonna find it, and I'll throw me in there. I don't know where you're gonna find this either, man. This is just good stuff every Saturday morning and Sunday night. Golf RWT, I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. Kimberly Wilson Daniel, I know you probably sent me that book. I haven't been to my UPS box in probably a month, right? I just haven't had the time, but whenever I get there, I'm gonna get that book so we can get going. Stacey L. Joy, good to see you. Good to see you. Jacqueline Harriet, I guess. I don't know if you know, but I met one of your colleagues, the two young ladies who were the sisters out when I was up in Nova Scotia. I met their other sister in North Carolina the other day. So we talked about you and Ken and so many others. Tony McClenny is in the building, Battle Creek, Michigan. Where we at? Yeah, thank you, Josh. You said clean the mirror. I forgot to even get the mirror. So here we are. Just got it out my bag. We got the mirror. That's why, let me tell y'all something. Let me turn that into a teachable moment. That's why you got to have good people around you. See, if you got good people around you, they're going to take care of you. Josh knows which pictures to take when he's with me. He knows when to start filming me, right? Because there's certain things he just know I want on film. I've never told him. He just knows a certain thing, and he knows at what point to start filming it, right? Like such as my closing, for example. When you have good people around you, you don't have to tell them nothing. They just know. Right. So that's important, man. That's important to make sure you got people in your life that you don't have to be dictating to. I need this, I need that. They down with you, so they know what your needs are and they take care of you. Right. We got Al Hassan Suso in the building. Cynthia Farmer in the building. I'm getting ready to wrap it up, y'all. I got the big time guest today. James Wilburn is in the building. Shanita Ross, Jasmine Harris out there in California. Man, I feel like I'm living in California these days, Jasmine. Every time I turn around and look at my calendar, I'm on my way back to California. I'll be in Los Angeles this Saturday, right? And then I'm coming back in June. And it's just, I've never been to California so many times in my life that I've been in this particular season that I'm in. Sheikah Houston said to Kimberly Broad and Kafele, thank you for joining us this morning. Tasha Mormon, AP, Patrick Lawrence, I see you. Principal Tammy Taylor, I see you. Demario Reed, I see you. All right, let me close it out, y'all. Let me close out, y'all. You know I'm always looking for the Jersey homies, and there he is. Dr. Vincent Stallings is in the building, so that's a good way to close out. Y'all know I'm not gonna be doing no screaming in this hotel room, but I will have energy. So let me say to you real quickly, good morning. See, y'all ain't getting the full value, man. These people come knocking on the door, messing with me. Greetings. Welcome to week 205 of the AP and New Principals Academy. And I got to tell you, man, you know, it's been a long week. It's been a long January, a long February, a long March, but I'm not complaining. But it's just I've been going hard, and April is going to be a beast, right? 2 international trips. It's going to be a beast. But I prayed for this, and in addition to praying for this, I worked for this. I worked my butt off to be right where I am. So for that reason, I'm blazing, man. I'm on fire, somebody. So I ain't gonna do the heat right now because I don't want the fire department running up here. But I just want y'all to know that I'm on fire this morning. And but bigger picture, my hope is that you're on fire. Right. I'm hoping that you're feeling like I can conquer the world, like I can take my game to the next level, that I can do anything that I'm approached by or confronted by. I can do it. Right. I got this. You got that particular attitude. Your attitude matters. Right. So you got that attitude that says, I got this. Right. You bring in that heat. You bring in them flames. You bring in that fire. Right. So that's so critically important to not only your practice as a leader, but who you are as a human being, right? I say attitude over everything, man. Attitude is just significant. I could do a whole sermon. In fact, I could just come on for 52 Saturdays in a year and just talk attitude alone, because it's just so powerful in terms of us being able to maximize our potential and live our dreams, live our goals. So with that said, real quick, y'all, shout out to the ASCD annual conference. That's where I spoke last Sunday in Washington, D.C. You see I'm rocking my Washington Potomac's jersey from the Negro Leagues. I was in D.C., man, and just had a great time, man, just speaking to the folks. Shout out to all the folks in those audiences that I spoke to, and shout out to the AP and New Principal Academy fam that was in the audience. You know, we did that extra little something. You know, that's what I do. That's the one when Josh pulls out the camera, he know what's up, man. So we did that little extra something. And a few of y'all told me that was a little more powerful than the actual presentation. So I'm not mad at you. Shout out to North Carolina Middle Level Educators Conference, man. I had the blessing of being able to keynote that. And no, I ain't keynote that when I spoke there. I forgot. I did that closing keynote. I forgot. Yeah. And then shout out to the North Carolina Department of Instruction Spring Network Conference. I did keynote that. So shout out to all of them, man. Great week here in North Carolina and Washington. Welcome to the first timers. Glad you're here, but don't let this be your last time. If this is your first time, that means you missed 204 previous sessions. And I told you, man, the information on here, like I'm gonna use an old school slang, the information slamming, man. The new school slang, the information is popping, right? So but you just gotta be here, right? Go to the AP New Principals Academy YouTube channel. and just scroll and check out the topics that are most applicable to you, or just binge watch them all. I mean, you're not going to go wrong. There's a lot there. Be sure to like and follow the AP and New Principals Academy Facebook page. I haven't written an essay consistently that I typically would do on a Sunday, because them Sundays, man, I just don't be feeling like doing nothing, man. But I'm gonna figure it out. Just check, because might be one of them Sundays I write it. But like, I'm usually like, oh, I don't feel like writing. I'm doing a lot, y'all. School Leadership Institute with Principal Kafele. Join me in July, on July 9 and 10 in Houston. Join me. We're going to be in person July 9 and 10 in Houston, talking leadership all day long for 2 days, July 9 and 10, but you're going to be talking it too. I just need you to be in the building. So go to the website, principalkafele.com. Don't go to it right now, though. My website is down for about the next 2 hours, right? And then it'll be back up. So after about 2 hours from now, go to the website, principalkafele.com, and click the link for the academy, for the institute, and then join me in Houston for those 2 days. My topic: what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? I can't speak enough about that topic. It's just so important, so invaluable. But also join me in Houston July 18th through the 21st at the Black Educators Rock Conference. Although it says Black, that's because it's Black organized, Black run, Black led, all that kind of thing. But we want people of all races, all ethnicities, all hues, all cultures to be at that conference, right? We're talking about properly educating Black children, right? But we're doing that. So I want you to come and join us July 18 through 21 in Houston at the Rock Conference. Just go to rockconference.org. Once again, rockconference.org. And I promise you, you'll have one of the best times you've ever had at a conference. Make sure you get my books. I didn't bring any with me, but my books are on Amazon. All of them, particularly the Assistant Principal 50, which I notice is number 2 right now on Amazon under administration. So I'm blessed by that. Thank you for everybody who continues to buy that book. But the Assistant Principal 50 Identity, which is my newest one, that's somewhere in the top 25 as well. And the Aspiring Principal 50, that one's ranked high too. I don't remember what the number is. But then all the other books, the Principal 50, Is My School a Better School Because I Lead It? Those are important to this platform, as companions to this platform. So make sure you get those as well. Hit that share button, hit that retweet, hit that repost. Let them know we're here. Tag somebody, tag them Facebook groups, those leadership groups, tag all of them. Let them know we are here. Let me give you my monologue real quick. I'm going to keep it short, because I've done it before. I've done whole hours of sessions on it, but it's just so important. I just said it. My monologue is a question: what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? I did I do these shorts every Wednesday now, and that was the topic of the short. That is like my topic in this season I'm in right now. Everything about my work is rooted, grounded, planted in what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally. You can do everything that you do. Hear me, somebody. Everything that you do in leadership, right? And there could be serious value and worth to everything you do in leadership. I get it, right? But I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you this with every fiber of my being, that despite your greatness in the so many different facets and aspects of your leadership, who you are in relationship to that teacher's pedagogical growth and development is got to be at your core. Because at the end of the day, with all the great programming that we have in the schools, all the great activities that we have in the schools, all the great things that we do in the school, the children enter the school to learn. That's at the core, and we can never forget that. But if they're in a classroom with a teacher who is substandard, well, newsflash, that teacher can grow. That teacher can evolve. That teacher can become phenomenal. That teacher can become great. I'm not proud of who I was when I first walked into a classroom as a teacher in 1988. But in 1996, they said you the teacher of the year for the building, for the district, for the county, and New Jersey State Teacher of the Year finalist. They said that. So 88, I held my own. 96, hey, you the king, right? So folks can evolve. Teachers can grow. They can develop, but they need you. I'm going to say it again. They need you to play an integral role in their growth and development, pedagogically speaking. I'm not even talking about the overall growth and development of a teacher. I'm talking pedagogically. They need you. Yes, they can read the books. Yes, they can go to the conferences. Yes, they can listen to the podcast. Yes, they can listen to the live stream. Yes, they can read the blog posts. They can do all that stuff. But as you've heard me say before, ain't none of them authors and presenters come into their classroom to give them feedback on what they listened to, what they read, what they attended, etc. That's you, the leader in the building, along with the instructional coaches. That's on you. So if you find that a less than significant portion of your day or an inadequate portion of your day is being spent on things other than instructional leadership, so that little portion of your day is instruction, you got to rethink what you do. You got to matter of fact, I'm gonna go deeper. You got to rethink who you are as leader in your school. Enough said. Again, what is my value to the teachers that I supervise instructionally? I got the big time guest on today, y'all. I got the big time guest, man, and I'm getting ready to bring her up. I've been waiting for this particular session, so let me get her on up here. Let me change that screen. Oh man, I do it. Y'all to be rocking with me every week. You know I do this every week, man. I forget to change that background, but there we go. We got it. Hey, how you doing there, Miss Arlette Mello Johnson?
I'm on fire. I'm with you. I just can't believe it. I'm the biggest fan, and I'm so passionate about this work, and I'm so passionate about the academy here, and just being on the other side of the screen next to you is it's a blessing, and I'm just starstruck.
Man, I'm just a regular guy
Really?
trying to do his part.
You do it well.
I appreciate the compliment. And that's I mean, you the star. I mean, to the folks out there that don't know, I'm getting ready to read her bio. I mean, I have the 2017 Bridgeport Public Schools Teacher of the Year. I have the 2023 Connecticut Assistant Principal of the Year, and I got the 2023 National Association of Elementary School Principals Outstanding AP of the Year. I gotta hear, right? So you might want to tell somebody, because if she's the AP of the year, state and recognized nationally, that means she's got some information, y'all. So you might want to call somebody, text somebody. You might not want to stop at just tagging somebody and sharing. You might want to like hit them up, like, yo, he got the AP of the year on the phone. You might want to hear some of these nuggets. So let me read this bio real quick, y'all. Growing up in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Arlette was raised in a loving and supportive family environment that instilled in her a strong sense of hard work, faith, self-worth, and determination. Her early exposure to education through her mother's love for teaching and learning ignited her passion to start working at her family's, is it Kumon?
Yes, Kumon Methods.
All right, Kumon Methods Learning Center at a young age. While in high school, Arlette had an impactful teaching volunteering experience at a rural elementary school that contributed to her desire to make a positive impact in children's lives. After graduating from high school, she moved to the United States by herself to gain a new cultural perspective, work as and there's another word I said I should have asked you off mic, au pair.
It's a nanny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Learn English and study. I highlighted it and forgot to ask you about that one. Despite worked as in U.S. terms a nanny when you migrated here from Brazil by yourself,
by myself,
to seek out a new life in the U.S. Let's look at that. Despite facing challenges such as cultural differences, language barriers, prejudice, and financial independence, Arlette embraced the beautiful diversity of the American culture and seized every opportunity to contribute and learn with unwavering determination. While juggling While juggling multiple part-time jobs, she took it upon herself to figure out the college application process and secure loans to pursue her higher education goals. Now, I want to remind somebody again, she didn't come here with family, friends, and all that. We're talking about solo right now. Beginning her academic pursuits here's another one I should have asked you about, Housatonic Community College. There you go. With a focus on child development, Arlette laid the foundation for her future in education. She then went on to earn a bachelor's degree in elementary education with a minors in mathematics and Spanish from Southern Connecticut State University. This is the kind of stuff they make movies on. 2012, Arlette was hired as a bilingual first grade teacher under the durational shortage area permit. This new position challenged her to learn Spanish because her native language was Portuguese. So learn Spanish and led her to pursue a master's degree in bilingual education at Fairfield University. This scholarship opportunity blessed her to further hone her skills and expertise in teaching diverse student populations. Arlette's passion for nurturing students' love for learning and creativity, coupled with high parental involvement, proved instrumental in her success as a first grade bilingual teacher at Multicultural School in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where each student that she served was able to grow from emergent to fluent readers in Spanish and English in a year's period. Wow. Encouraged by school leaders and feeling an increased desire to engage with all stakeholders, Arlette pursued additional qualifications in administration. She completed her intermediate administration program, followed by a 6-year degree in advanced study in administration, and also obtained her superintendency degree from Sacred Heart University and endorsement from the Connecticut Department of Education. For the past 6 years, Arlette has proudly served alongside Principal Eric Conrad as Franklin's assistant principal. Arlette attributes Franklin's success to Eric's cohesive approach to leadership and their team's commitment to the Franklin family, intentional collaboration, and a holistic approach to child development. Finally, Arlette's contribution and commitment to our youth was recognized by the Beard Family Foundation, where she received the 2017 Teacher of the Year Award from the Bridgeport Public Schools, along with the $15,000 cash reward, the 2023 Connecticut Assistant Principal of the Year, and the 2023 National Association of Elementary School Principals Outstanding National Assistant Principal of the Year. Arlette had the opportunity to publish a peer-reviewed publication about the challenges of minority teachers in the teacher preparation program, and present her findings along with her peers at the National Association of Multicultural Educators and the Association of Teacher Educators. Arlette believes that leadership is a calling that requires a sense of urgency, vision, systematic planning, cohesion, implementation, self-reflection, and outrageous love. And finally, she's married to the most supportive husband and caring father, Chris. Together, they are raising their 2 awesome kids, Ava and Chris. And I had the opportunity to meet the whole family at the NAESP convention or conference last summer. So I'm sure they're watching right now. So shout out to all the family, and good to see you all virtually on this Saturday morning platform. With that said, let's jump into it.
Wow. By the way, my son, he says almost every day, I'm on fire. He copies you. It's adorable. I need to record.
I appreciate him. I appreciate him. I remember when he said that when I met him too. I appreciate him. Yeah, hey folks, hit that share button, hit that retweet, let them know we're here. I got all the preliminaries out the way. We get ready to jump into it. Arlette, after high school, you left Brazil. That's big. Right. That's, anybody leaving their homeland and going somewhere far, sometimes just going on a vacation for a week in a foreign land can be a challenge. Just navigating an airport can be a challenge. So you left and you came to another country and you came here on your own. So your bio, just this one passage, this one sentence, it states, despite facing challenges such as cultural difference, language barriers, prejudice, and financial independence, Arlette embraced the beautiful diversity of the American culture and seized every opportunity to contribute and learn with unwavering determination. I wanted to use that just to set up this question. I want you to talk to us about your initial drive, your initial determination that was obviously a necessity, right, for you to survive in a new country, in being an independent in this foreign land. Talk to us about that initial drive and determination.
Absolutely. So when I finished high school, first of all, I was raised by 2 amazing parents who always believed in me. and I always believed in my dreams, and always challenged me, and to do what I believed it was right and it felt good for me. So I once I finished high school, I really wanted to explore the world. I always I started learning English in elementary school in Brazil, but I really wanted to speak the language fluently. And back then, my parents were paying for both of my siblings to get their higher education. My sister was going for dental school, and my brother law school, and it was big expenses. And I saw this opportunity to come as a nanny, which I always loved, working with kids, and and I thought it was a wonderful opportunity. So we saw this program, Au Pair in America, and I started learning about the program. And so there I was. I had a bag full of dreams and $200, and here I come to the United States, and I was able to connect with a wonderful family in Florida. They had one son, and I, became their caregiver for a year and a half. And once that time was up, I was thinking about my future and how much I love the country. And back then, my sister was in Connecticut at the time, and that drove me to come to Connecticut and pursue higher education. But it was very challenging. I didn't have that. I didn't know a lot of people here. I had to figure out how to survive. But I've been so blessed to have a lot of people on my path who really supported me, and gave me great advice. And, my mom's always home praying for me and, wishing all the best. So it's been a journey, I enjoy every moment of it. So yes, but the language definitely challenging. But I'm always passionate about the English, and, doing my best and to communicate with everybody, to, have, good intentions, and keep moving forward into different opportunities appearing in my life. And yes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I use the words, Arlette, drive and determination. And that's, to me, that's apparent in terms of your trajectory to where you are today. But then I look at your career, your professional career as an educator, and being recognized as this phenomenal classroom teacher, being recognized as this phenomenal assistant principal. And I'm forecasting this phenomenal principal one day, whenever you make that decision. So my question to you, you have drive, you have determination. And we know that there are also people who need to develop that trait, right? In terms of them being able to just pursue whatever their dreams may be. Talk to us about your drive and determination relative to the correlation between it and the drive and determination to become a phenomenal teacher and a phenomenal AP. Is there a correlation, or is it just something that kind of happened?
Yeah, I believe so. When you started today, you were talking about the attitude, and I really believe about the attitude and the energy that you bring to your mission every day. And from the very beginning, I believe I always had that high energy, that fire. And I think that's contagious, and that drive to really do well. I remember when I graduated with my degree in elementary education, I printed my resume. I dressed up. I put gas on my car. I just had enough money to put gas on that car. And I printed 50 resumes. And I drove to 50 elementary schools, as many as I could that day. And it was, of course, before COVID. I would just knock on the door, and I would see on Google the name of the principal. Hi, is Principal Kafele available? And I had a 1-minute speech. And they would come like, without appointment. Hi, my name is Arlette Johnson. And I would just have that 1-minute speech, that drive. And I'm ready to work. I'm eager to work. I love children. I'm here to learn. And I landed the job. And of course, I landed as a bilingual teacher, and I did not even speak Spanish fluently. And I was like, wow. I was like, I got it. But now I have to learn a third language. And you know what? That was the best thing that happened. Everything happens the way it's just supposed to be, because I just fell in love with the Hispanic community, learned Spanish, and it just led to more and more and more opportunities. So it's just that drive, I remember the first time I sat down at the staff meeting with Principal Planas, and they gave me the evaluation with the rubric, right? I got that rubric. My eye went straight to the exemplary. I just had that self-efficacy in my heart, and I was like, all right, so what do I need to be? I just circled the exemplary in every single one. This is what I'm going to do. What do I need to do this? What do I need to do this? And I would research, I would ask people, and I just had that drive to, and I was seeing how those things are true. These things in the rubric that was saying there, it was just like, I gotcha. It was like, no, you're connecting with students, you're engaging them in relevant ways with intention. And I was very fortunate then it forced me to do the bilingual degree, which really helped me. And as a English language learner, I know how difficult it is to learn the language and the content all at once. It's very difficult. So you really need to have a strong plan, a strong lesson plan to really engage the students with the strong background knowledge, with the vocabulary that our kids, need so much in order to communicate their ideas effectively. And then how are we going to assess them, their growth, and how are they going to present ideas? And from the very beginning, I had very high parent engagement. I would share pictures, celebrate the children. I had parents basically every single day in my classroom. It just became part of my culture in the classroom to have parents in the classroom every day, running groups. And then it just became like other students would also come to my classroom. The older students, they want to be part of it, because we had so much fun. Learning is fun, right? We should. I always wanted to wow my kids. I always, even like, I have a secret to tell you, and it was the lesson objective, just to spark that joy of learning. So it's always in the back of my mind, how can I wow the learner, and so they can see themselves in the lesson.
That feeds right into what I want to ask you next. I was a classroom teacher. I posted about this week on a couple of days ago on Facebook. You saw it.
Yes.
And I absolutely loved that work. I miss it. That was my world. As a principal, the school was my world, but I was a part of a larger organization. Of course, as a teacher, you're still a part of a larger organization, but it was something about being in that classroom and closing that door and knowing that I had the full support of my principal and my assistant principal, that was my world. And I could construct things and develop things and grow things and mold things and shape and do all these kinds of things for children to be optimally successful.
Right.
Well, when I became an AP for that 1 year, despite the complaints I have about it, I did create some things while I was there. And then ultimately in that position, and ultimately a principal. I got to say this to you, Arlette. Who I became as an administrator was informed by who I was as a teacher. My good buddy on here right now, he's on the thread. His name is Dr. Vincent Stallings. You've probably seen him on. He's been a guest of mine twice, and I'm always putting his name on the screen. He's a big science guy. That's his thing, science. Well, he's a longtime principal now, but he's in a STEM school. And science is his thing. Before he got into the STEM school, he was in regular traditional schools, but he put this heavy duty emphasis on science. So who he was as a teacher informed who he was going to become as a principal. Who I was as a teacher informed who I was as a principal. And it baffles my mind, those particularly in the charter school world, how one could become a principal and never taught. Then where's your foundation coming from? Like, what is that? So my question to you, with giving you that long lecture, my question to you, in what ways did who you were as a classroom, and obviously you did it at a high level. In what ways did who Arlette Mello Johnson was as a teacher inform who you became as a school administrator?
In so many ways. I think starting with the environment, right? I always strive to create an environment that's conducive to learning. And if we all take a field trip to Franklin Elementary, which is my home, my second home right now, you will feel as soon as you enter our school, all over the walls, there's affirmations, there's the mood meter, there is a space, doors are open, it's a colorful environment. And this is how was my classroom. Students need to feel loved, they need to feel heard, they need to feel valued. So that was, parents are always welcomed, to come into our buildings and engage. And as a teacher, I really believe that planning, when you're a teacher, when you go into the classroom without a plan, and when you teach a lesson without a plan, is not the same, right? So same thing as an administrator. If I don't plan ahead my week, it's not going to be as well. So I think our planning is very important, and there's a lot of moving parts in the administrative responsibility, and so it's in teaching too. Communication, very important to when you're a teacher, communicate with the families. What are the kids learning this week, right? What are the words that we are learning? How can you engage your kids at home? And as a school leaders, I was able, actually, as a teacher, I used this app called Class Dojo, and I've been using for many years, and has been a wonderful resource. And there's so many apps, but this one's been a wonderful resource where we can share, and tell our school story and our brand, right? You talk a lot about the school brand, our brand, we are the Franklin family. And as family members, we respect one another. We follow the SOAR, we have our SOAR assemblies. We foster, we are safe, we own our actions, we accept responsibility for our learning, and we are respectful, right? So we always talking about those things. So I think, having the opportunities that I had at Multicultural Magnet School as a first grade teacher was so powerful, and really allowed me to be, and I am a student. I'm a forever student. I'm a lifelong learner. I learned so much with my children, with my parents, with my teachers, my principal mentors, you, of course, and all of the folks who've been to the academy here. It's so inspiring. It really is. Learning it's just that power of education, right? It's just amazing. But yes, it helped me tremendously. Being a strong teacher, and now, because it is important, because now I can share what worked, when I was a classroom teacher with our teachers, and also have this great collaboration and inquire why, right? Always trying to move forward with this piece with our children, because our goal is for our kids to learn and be the best they can be. So
I love it. You said something. You said when you go into a classroom without a plan, you may not, and I'll paraphrase, you may not get the same results you would have if you had a plan. You may not get the optimal results. Arlette, there are, and I'm sure you know this, I know it because of just the broad range of schools that I work with. There are schools, there are districts where lesson planning is no longer relevant. It's deemed as not important, or deemed as, from the administrative side, an intrusion. So I'm not going to intrude on my teachers. I trust them. I will never, and I feel confident saying this, I will never ever agree with that. Never.
Right.
Because there's nothing that I do in life without a plan and a goal attached to it. So why would I send a teacher into a classroom and say, just go teach? That's like sending a football player on the field without any practice, any study of the film, any conditioning, any preparation, just on raw talent. You go on out there and win the game. That's not going to happen. So I want you, because I know that there could be somebody on the call right now in the fam. They could be in one of those districts or one of those schools, and lesson planning is just not significant to them. Talk to us about why planning matters.
Planning matters because we have to be constantly seeing how our kids are doing so we can plan forward, right, for their needs. Actually, our last PD that we had at our school was to focus on domain 1, planning and preparation, right, because that is so important. And we saw that there was a need to just to reemphasize that importance with our teachers. So planning is so important because if we don't plan, it's not going to happen, right? Or maybe it's not going to happen at high levels, right? And if we want our children to achieve in high levels, we really need to be ready. At Franklin, we are very fortunate. We have 3 fabulous. Just want to shout out to Miss Owen, Miss Therafe, and Miss Castaneda. There are literacy and numeracy coaches. We're so fortunate to have them. So they really, really support our staff with, planning the needs of our kids. We have flex groups, so we meet constantly to look at the kids, where they are, and then we plan groups. So we have a cycle of 6 weeks of groups, so we can, really see how our kids are doing, how are we working with them, how are they growing, and what can we do moving forward. Who needs more support? Maybe they need to enter into the MTSS, support. So then we can plan also for those lessons. And also, how can we accelerate the learning? Because we're still trying to catch up, right? So also part of our last PD, we were talking about vocabulary, the importance of really focusing on the vocabulary, academic vocabulary with our kids. So when, so they can start using appropriately the vocabulary and transferring to other learning opportunities. So planning is essential. Planning, it becomes, it's part of, if you really wanted to see progress, you have to plan for it, right? If there's no plan, there's no direction. And I think that's really key.
I love it.
Cohesively, right? Plan cohesively, not all over the place. So you need to have that path.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a topic that I'm gonna get into, but I really want them to hear about you, and so I'm gonna stay there a little bit longer. And I want to ask you the question that I ask a lot of folks that come on here who have become leaders. With your track record in the classroom as a teacher and being awarded for it on the district level, why administration? Why did Arlette Mello Johnson choose to be in it, come out of the classroom and to become an administrator? What were your intended objectives?
I love teaching. I still teach. I teach. I ask teachers, once a month, I teach the portrait of a graduate skills to the children throughout the month in all the classrooms. And then when we do the assembly, we do a whole school celebration. So I also, like you, it's the best job is, teaching. But when I was a first grade teacher, I think because I started connecting more and more with other stakeholders, I just fell in love with that energy of knowing, the different talents within the building and being able, because as an administrator, we have such a special ability to know everyone. I mean, if you foster those relationships, right? If you do that, because then when your community needs something, oh, this person can help with this, and you start delegating in an authentic way. So when I was in the classroom, I started doing more and more and more and more. And then the principal said, "You would be a great administrator, have you ever thought about it?" And I was like, wow, I think that I would love that. I wanted to learn. And when I started the program as an administrator, and I learned the evaluation process, how to evaluate educators, I became a better teacher, because I really started to dive a little deeper into the evaluation process and what things to look for. And I think that was like, wow, it makes more sense now, because when I was a teacher, it wasn't, it wasn't the same. I gained that perspective, and I saw the changes in the positive changes that that was happening in my classroom. And I wondered, could I continue to make more positive changes at a greater, with more students, with, the entire staff. And in the school, as a teacher, I started doing assemblies. I did whole school field trips. I started to do different projects. They were very successful, and I got very, very excited about that. So, and then the opportunity came, and then I won the Teacher of the Year, and a lot of people started saying, you're going to be a great administrator one day, and I just kept going, and I just love every minute of it.
Kept going and love every minute of it. As the fam knows, I always ask my guests for talking points, and you sent me talking points, and you also sent the bio, and there was something that jumped out at me. You on several occasions you gave praise or credit to your principal, right? It's and I don't think I've seen that in any of the bios that I've read of assistant principals, but you referenced the principal, the support of the principal, the collaboration of the principal. I think it's Conrad.
Yes.
Yeah, and that really jumped out at me, and I want you to speak to that within the question that I want to ask you. What advice do you have for APs out there, assistant principals out here, that do not have the support that you obviously have, in order for them to grow, in order for them to flourish, in order for them to evolve in this thing called leadership? You got somebody on here watching right now, and I'm sure that they're out here, they're sitting here watching, and they're saying, amen, that's the question I need, right? Because I don't have that support. I feel like I'm in this thing by myself. I'm trying to figure this thing out by myself, and perhaps one day become a principal, but I don't have that one that's got me, that's got my back, that's holding my hand, that's guiding me along the way. Speak to your relationship to the principal, and speak to what that AP could do in order to still flourish within that capacity of assistant principal.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to Principal Conrad. We've been doing this together for 5.5 years, and he's such an incredible mentor. And he gave me, many opportunities to learn all of the different, aspects of the job of the principal, but not only like go do it, right? Always like when it's our time, we talk every day, and when we were talking, he stops everything he's doing and he gives his full attention. Wow. Right. And it's so powerful, and he's so kind, and he's so organized. And I've learned this with him. He's super organized. He plans everything. So I'm very grateful for his leadership and for all of the opportunities and his trust, right? For allowing me to do this. And I guess we're a great team, not only Conrad, but the entire Franklin family. It's very special to work in a school where people are there for the children, right? And so I think an advice for an assistant principal who do not have the support is, connect with people who you can trust, right? You start talking about things that you're interested in growing in your career. Watch the AP and New Principals Academy. You learn so much from this academy. Really, you've given me so many ideas and so many things that I have implemented in my school, and inspired me. There's so many different ways nowadays to grow in your job, and know your mission. Why are you in this job? What's your passion? And there's a lot of work to do in schools, a lot of work to do. I think no one leads by themselves, right? This is a collaborative job. everybody's, should be looking to collaborate, because it takes all of us, right? It really takes all of us to do this job at high levels. So, you're in this position, you got this far professionally because you have the talents, that's needed to make change happen in kids' lives. So, just, and we'll have some tough days too, and sometimes you just have to reset. I was just part of this great workshop that the presenter was talking about, the importance of resetting. Sometimes you just have to reset, look at the wonderful things that you're doing too, and there's a lot of people out there that can help. Another shout out to all the APs, elementary APs in Stratford. They are wonderful. We have happy hour once a month and it's fantastic, connect with other APs in the district, and I even, text message groups, ask questions. I still have a text message group with the students who did the superintendency program and many of them are already superintendents, and, it's just that collaboration, it really helps. Nobody has all the answers. Just know that we're in this together.
Yeah. That's great stuff. Great information for that AP that is out there right now and feels that I don't have the support that I need in order for me to grow, develop, flourish within my capacity of AP, and perhaps toward becoming or going to the next level of the principalship. Good stuff. Let's jump into some things. You had sent me these 4 points and I developed a presentation around them, and I want to share the 4 with the audience, with the fam out there. We want to delve into, y'all get your pen and pencil, call somebody, tag somebody, text somebody, whatever you have planned, sit back with us for a minute. And we want to break down promoting a positive school culture, sense of belonging and school connectedness, increasing academic engagement, and lifelong learning. Those are my 4 points, but we got a lot of substance within those 4. So I'm not putting all the other information on the screen. But what I decided to do, I just want to read the first part of what you sent me, and then I want to turn it over to you, Arlette, and you go ahead and run with it, expound on it in terms of what you're saying to the fam this morning. You said, I take pride every day in promoting a safe and positive school climate that focuses on a healthy family model of respect, kindness, and perseverance. What are you saying, and what does that look like as it rolls out in the building?
Yeah, I believe, back to the energy, the intentionality, and appreciating the environment that you're in. And I think creating a positive climate is in so many ways, like welcoming students every day with energy, with a smile, saying something positive. When you communicate with the families, dear Franklin families, same thing with the staff, always positive. And I think also creating an environment where students feel that they are heard, right? Their story matters. We are all storytellers here, and we are here to make a difference and help one another. We are humans. We make mistakes. So we also, at Franklin, we foster an environment of compassionate students, right? And my office doors are always open, to talk about issues, as the assistant principal. Of course, I'm the one with the walkie-talkie, right? When there's anything happens, I'm the one who will connect with the students. And you know what? Wild behavior, sometimes paused everything that we have to do to address it. I love it. I just love having this time to talk to my students about an issue that they had that's making them feel upset or frustrated. So, I was trained restoratively, and I really appreciate, and love all of the conversations that I have with my students. We come in, how are you feeling? What happened? How does that make you feel? And it's just so empowering because that's how I built the relationship with my students too. They know that they can trust me. They know if something happens, they will come to me, or they come to the teacher. and we are going to address it, and we're going to support them. We're there for each other, and that's the family model. We're there for one another. Same with the staff. If something happens with their families. I had a mom the other day who called me upset, needed something. We stayed late hours, and we helped out. We helped one another. I think having that community that you feel that you're heard, and people can really count on you when they need it. It's really, really special. And actually in my school, and I learned this from my previous principal, Dr. Planas, and he always did the affirmations, and I'm big on affirmations. And the affirmations that he used to do at Multicultural that I do at Franklin goes like this: I am special. And then the kids say, I'm special. I'm special. I am loved. I'm one of a kind. I'm not afraid of challenges. I treat others with respect. I am loved. I am special. So at the end of every assembly, frequently when I during restorative meetings, at the end of the meeting, when we're done, taking care of the problem, and then we're like, okay, let's go over our affirmations. And then the kids, they know it by heart, and it's so good, And I have a funny story that I was with my 6th grade students the other day, and there was a little problem over football, and they were taking care of business, and there was a Brazilian family new to our school waiting for me in the hallway, and I was just wrapping up the conversation with the boys. And I was like, all right, boys, I'll see you later at lunchtime. And then we got up, and then he's like, Mrs. Johnson, you forgot the affirmations. And they just hugged. I was so taken by the 6th grade boys. You should think kids don't care, right? No, they do care. They hugged, and they said, I'm special. I'm loved. I'm one of a kind. And then they left. And then the Brazilian family, who did not speak English, just like, so beautiful. I love how you pray with the kids here. And then I was like, oh no, but it was just, it's part of our culture, it's, like you said, it's the mood, it's the mood of the school, and it creates the positive possibilities, so it's amazing.
Oh, that's it. I mean, it's that family, that healthy family model, and that culture that you all are nurturing in that building. That now, when the student took the initiative, because it's who we are. This is what we do, and something in terms of what we do was missing. So they went on and addressed it and did it themselves. That's how culture works. And
that's how it works. It's incredible. You know how I love that question that you ask, if you were a word in a dictionary. I love that question. I ask every interview. Then my Eric Conrad go, there she goes again with her question. So I did a bulletin board with all of the staff, and I took a picture of the staff, and I turned the picture into, like, the artificial intelligence. They'll turn everybody into cartoon, and it's really fun. And I asked my staff, if you were a word in a dictionary, what word would you be? And then I did hashtag under every staff member with their word, thanks to you. And as soon as you enter our school, it's picture of every staff in cartoon form with their word, right? With their hashtag, with the word of dictionary. And then the middle says Franklin family, and there's a picture of every classroom. Next to their picture is their promise. We, Classroom 7, want to feel. In order to feel this way, we will. And then their signature. So as soon as you enter in our school, you see the pictures of everyone, our promise to each other, and affirmations all around. So as you are walking the hallways, you read, I am loved. I am special. So you're constantly reminded that you're surrounded by love, and you're surrounded by adults who care for you tremendously. And because you're great, and you're perfect just the way you are. And we're meeting you where you are, as you are. And we're going to take you, whenever you want to go. So it's culture matters, and climate.
I'm going to hold my mirror up on this one as I speak to the fam real quick. How are you utilizing that wall space I know that some teachers will take the initiative and do be creative with the walls outside of their room, but others will not, right? But for me, I mean, if a teacher wanted that wall space, then I would give it to them. But if they didn't, then I would claim it for myself, and I would make sure that that wall space is speaking to the students in the building, right? So I'm asking you all, how are you utilizing that wall space? And I may even add, how are you utilizing the ceilings in terms of information, stimuli that can hang from the ceiling that they're still going to see as they walk? So it matters when you're shaping and molding that culture. You know, you got some space that may be underutilized. I cringe every time I walk into a school and all I see is the paint on the walls. There's so much that can be done with that wall space to enhance the culture, the climate of that school. It matters. So let me go to another one within this. You said it is important for our students to hear, see, and feel the support of our community for them. When I first became an assistant principal, I wanted to make sure that all students knew our staff members and felt inspired by them. That's a powerful statement. What are you saying to us, and what does that look like when rolled out?
Well, we all have unique talents and qualities, and it's so important for us to share, our talents and qualities, and giving the staff the opportunity to embrace that and share. And same with the parents. We have parents to come and share their story with us. But can you repeat the beginning piece?
Yeah, where you indicated it's important for our students to hear, see, and feel the support of our community for them.
Right. Yeah, I think it's back to the environment, the conducive environment for learning, because it's their school, right? It's our kids' school, right? It's so important for us to create a conducive environment for children, right? Not for the adults, right? It's very important. Create, I'm an elementary level. What do children love, right? And I also have on the walls interactive mood meter. That fosters, the importance of feelings, identifying feelings and recognizing feelings, and knowing that life can be a roller coaster sometimes, and it's okay to feel those, have those feelings, but how are we going to work together so we're not always in the, red and yellow feeling, blue feelings. So it's very important for our kids to have that. And at Franklin, we have a lot of leadership opportunity for our students. They strive when they are doing the work. So we have, garden club. We have the kids who do the morning announcements. The kids support with that every single day. Shout out to our 6th grade teacher, Miss T, who helped us with that too. Who's wonderful, works so hard, and really, she just to shout out to Miss T, she has funded probably over $20,000 in Teacher Choose projects, and giving back to our students, because that's another example, right? What do our kids how do they want to learn? How are we connecting with them? And she's funding all of those projects, and we have this beautiful room now filled with tech games and terrific resources for our kids to really, that speaks to them. So I believe giving our students leadership opportunities to shine, that's when they do their best. I think that's really also very, very important. And another idea too that I do with our students, certain behaviors, there's accountability piece. So if you do something to harm our community, we'll have to do something to help our community. So oftentimes the accountability piece is, what are we going to do? We paint bulletin boards. We put up new affirmations on the walls. We go around the perimeter of the school to clean up the litter, because we are off a busy road. So there's always garbage there. So every week you see me cleaning up with the students. There's so many opportunities, and they feel that, I am valued here. I am needed in my community. So I think that's another way to promote a positive school climate. It's really using students as resources, right? And that really will really bring some inspiration to their lives too, big time.
We're talking promoting a positive school climate, and we're actually talking culture as well. And just looking at what you sent me, and then I broke it down into these little chunks, and I'm trying to leave culture and go to one of these other categories, but you got so much here, and I want to jump on this other one. It really jumped out at me. Fostering leadership opportunities for all stakeholders is key to sustaining a positive climate and supporting community. Principal Conrad and I have established a caring relationship with our PTO parents. Man, that's key. More parents are now taking the lead in various activities, fundraisers, and there's even a homeroom parent assigned for each class. My emphasis on this particular one, Arlette, is the parent piece, as it relates to the homerooms. Talk to us about what that looks like, where you've got parents assigned to each of the homeroom classes.
Yeah, so our PTO, this is a strong effort that we had because during COVID it was very difficult, like the engagement decreased. And then when we were back, we had two super moms, Jade and Kirsty, who really took the lead, and they started doing a lot of, their goal was to raise $3,000 a year. So we have about 300 students. So each student will have $10 for field trips, right? So that was their initial intention. But this led to so many opportunities for other staffs, other parents to come and support in a classroom. And again, with the parent support, it's constantly recruiting and constantly communicating with them, right? And I think with our parents, and visiting the classrooms and helping out all the ways they can. But I think it's really communicating with our parents that when you visit the classroom and help in the school, you are giving your child a very precious, happy memory, childhood memory that they will never forget. And I always tell the parents, like, I thank you so much for your support, but your child be so proud because you're here to help. Right. And the kids, they talk with so much pride when their parents are there supporting their learning, and they see, well, my parent values the school community. My parent is here to help. Right. And I think it makes our school a better place. So there's a lot of different activities. So we're going to do at end of the year, because we always have a teacher appreciation week. So we're going to have a student appreciation week, right? And parents will be coming and they will be supporting students, different classrooms. Homeroom parents will come and do activities with the kids to, engage them and just have fun, Childhood is such a special time in our lives, so I think, really putting our heads together to create some memorable experiences for our kids are, we really foster their love for their community and for learning ultimately. So
I listen to you, and I think about the multiplicity of assistant principals that I encounter across the country who do not have the opportunities to do so much of what you've discussed thus far. And we've only talked about a little bit of what you do. What an amazing thing when an AP, an assistant principal, can truly be that other leader in the building, that's using their own creativity, their own thought processes in terms of what it is that we need in order for us to be the school that we conceptualize that we can be, as opposed to us suffering within a culture that forces me or compels me to be a full-time disciplinarian. Right. And that's all I do is just read referrals and make consequence decisions on said or given child. Right. So let's keep going. Number two, you talked about sense of belonging in school connectedness. This is an area that I discuss extensively in just the presentations I do, that sense of belonging and that sense of connectedness. Let me read a portion of a piece that you sent me. It said you said school connectedness is an important factor that has both positive behavior and academic outcomes. Positive relationships increase our sense of belonging and help us generate rich and intentional collaborations that have the power to mobilize, transform, and create favorable change. What are you saying here?
Wow, because we're so much better together, right? Including our children. I came back to our unique talents and needs. Is just so important to have this opportunity to explore one's talents and really celebrate the learning in high level. So our focus, or Eric and I, we were talking at the beginning of the year, and our school focus was celebrations of learning. So that was the school goal. Like every school has like an extra goal. So that was our extra goal. So the extra goal of celebrations of learning was exactly that, create a unit of learning or several units of learning that would really connect, the learning with the students and the community, where students who have the opportunity to present, right, their learning to the community in high levels. And that brought so much connectedness to us. Actually, our sixth grade students had a African American History Museum, wax museum, and it was amazing. They were all dressed up as a notable African American, and they did slides, they did presentations, they had all of their presentations in the gym. It was huge for our school. News 12 came, the Connecticut Post came, they were on the cover of the newspaper, and it was just so empowering, just learning from different cultures and connecting our talents, right, and expressing that and sharing with the world, and it was just so empowering. And kudos again to our grade 6 team, who are incredible, who just had a career fair for our students, our sixth grade students, who are graduating soon, and I'll miss them so much. So it's that connected to speeds. It's also knowing our families and knowing their needs. I stay so many late hours there, just helping parents, and there's a lot of immigrant families in our school. What do you need? I sat with the parent not too long ago, and I helped with insurance, right? I helped with, parents who, became homeless. How can I help? And that's beyond the school. It's part of our mission, right? Making, now they know they can trust us, that they belong to Franklin. Franklin's also their family, right? And I tell the kids, I'm your mom. When you come to school, I'm your mom here, right? I'll take care of you. You're safe here, you're loved here, and we have high expectations of you. So I think when we feel a sense of connectedness, we will perform at higher levels, right? Because we know that people care for us. Yeah. And actually, I did a thesis for my 6th year. It was on school connectedness, and I did a small study, and I compared students' achievement. It was like achievement and extracurricular activities and academics. So the students who are more connected, with more experiences and more opportunities, did better academically. Although it was a small study, I was able to prove that is true, right? So engaging. And another thing that I am celebrating this year I was able to run more than 20 after school programs. And that was, from recruiting to budgeting to creating the opportunities for the students. So we have a cheer team, and the cheer team, now that when we have our SART assemblies, the cheer team are go Franklin, go, so they do the tunnel when the kids enter the gym, and then, they celebrate the kids, and it's just so beautiful to see, our connectedness in so many ways. We have the garden club who, now that's starting to get warmer, we start to clean, the front of the school and plant. We have the Lego club. It's just connecting our talents and just also using our resources that we have intentionally, so we can make good change for our kids and make happy memories, right?
You said a lot there. That's a lot. I want to put the mirror up again, and this is for the fam based on everything you just said. There you go. Got yours too. Hey fam, is there a possibility that there's a student or students who walk through the doors of your school every day, and that is the worst time of their 24 hours? That is a time of the day where I feel I'm not welcome. I don't belong in this space. I'm just asking you with the mirror up so that you can look at yourselves. Is there a possibility that that youngster walks into your building? And if so, what do you have in place for that youngster? And quite frankly, I could ask the question, do you feel that way when you walk into your own building as a leader? You could be an assistant principal, you could be a principal, you could be any employee in that school and feel you don't belong. I'm a speaker, and I'm trying to get away from that word speaker, but that's for another day in terms of conversation. I'm trying to get rid of it, distance myself from everybody that calls themselves speaker and begin to call myself teacher, right? But that's for another time, right? But for the sake of discussion now, I'm a speaker, and my best presentations are the ones when I sense that I'm welcome and I belong before I take that microphone. Right. The audiences, the people in the room is a better word than to say audiences. The people in the room, they have a way, just in terms of who they are, their personality and their understanding of either making the presenter feel welcome or making the presenter feel like he or she is not welcome. Right. So my best presentations, my best fire, my best energy, my best content is when before I walk on that stage, I know them folks are rocking with me. Now I feel like I'm welcome here. I felt like I belong here. Well, I'm 63. What about the 7-year-old, the 9-year-old, the 6-year-old, the 13-year-old, the whatever age group? What about them when they walk into the building and they feel detached, they feel unwelcome, but do not feel the confidence in expressing that to anybody? It's just bottled up inside. What is it about your leadership that detects that and thereby assists with that youngster with feeling like, no, I belong here. This is my place. This is my home away from home. I'm just throwing that out to the fam based on everything that you just said, because it matters, that individual. Because if that youngster doesn't feel that sense of connectedness, guess what? I'm 63, and I still talk about my lack of connectedness when I was in high school. And that was many moons ago. That was in the 70s, and I'm still talking about it. It doesn't go anywhere. It stays with you for life. Just like when someone's bullied, that doesn't go anywhere. If you were bullied, it probably stays with you for life, right? So with that said, I got this one more because this.
Can I add one thing? And I don't think we cannot talk school connectedness without talking about attendance, right? And I think it's a big question mark. Oh,
yep.
Do you want to read the?
Yeah, let me. Yeah, that's
okay.
where I was going.
All right. Oh, good.
You said an area that I am passionate about is student attendance. I couldn't bypass that one. You said the first step for a successful academic year is regular attendance.
Yes.
Data shows that when a student becomes chronically absent, the loss of instructional hours and social engagement can negatively impact their academic achievement, sense of belonging, and school connectedness. The floor is yours.
I am so passionate about, they call me the attendance police, but I really am. It matters because I see the phenomenal job that our teachers are doing in the classroom, and just breaks my heart that the kids are missing 6.5 hours of learning and 6.5 hours of engagement, 6.5 hours of time with their peers. It's a long time. And I created this letter. So every day, if the child is absent, the next day the letter is in the mailbox. Dear Principal Kafele, we missed you in school today very much. So it says, first thing it says, we missed you so much, right? Because we did. And then what's the reason why? And why, right? And if things do happens, right? Kids get sick, they cannot, come to school, and there are other things. But when it becomes chronic, right, it's a problem, because then we see the achievement gap grow, right? And we see then maybe disengagement because the student no longer can perform like their peers. So I collaborate with our nurse. Shout out to Nurse Ortiz. Mwah, love you. She's amazing. She also helps me, call everybody, be on top of it. Also with my queen, Mrs. Trezeri is our head secretary. She's fabulous. She prints out the list of the students who are out every day, because I like to see, because the next day when I see the child's like, oh, Sebastian, you were not here yesterday. What happened? And then they'll tell me, and then, calling parents. My school, we are very fortunate. We are a true neighborhood school. All of the parents, our kids walk, or the parents pick them up. So I have the opportunity to talk to the parents, most days if they're outside, what's going on. And then, sometimes it requires an attendance meeting, so we can connect and explain to the parents. And I often, print, although the student in third grade, I printed kindergarten report, first grade report, second grade report, third grade report. So your child, just say, that this year your child missed 10 days, but over his schooling experience, your child's been out 100 days, or whatever it is. We had kids who's been out, so much, so and we're doing, well, we did really well academically. I mean, in regards to attendance compared to the district. But, there's always, room for improvement. I actually, I print certificates for best attendance for each quarter. So we also celebrate attendance during our morning announcements. During the store assembly, morning announcements. And I also connected with McDonald's down the street and get, of course, parents' permission. So the classroom with the best attendance average for the month gets the Happy Meal party. I just trying to think of creative ways, and then we'll come to the classroom and have a special party, and, just for the students to be reminded attendance matters. That's the first step of successful school year. So it's really important, and also having those meetings with the staff. So looking at the data, because attendance is also hard, because every day is a new data point, right? So you really need to be on top of it, because if you forget 1 week, it accumulates, right? And then it's like, oh, the kid was out 3 days this week. What happened? So, but our teachers are also wonderful. If the parents send a dojo message, they forward to me. So I'm out. I know, who's out, who's not out, and what's going on. And also it's good that the nurse is on top of it, because sometimes it's like a medical question, oh, this is okay, it's allergies, they can come to school, it's allergy season, take your medicine at night, so in the morning kicks in and it's fine, so there's a lot of those tips, little things like that. But yeah.
Wow, good stuff. Let's keep it moving. Number 3 out of 4, increasing academic engagement, and you would actually put this under your best practices category. Two examples of best practices: increasing academic achievement and lifelong learning. I don't think we're gonna have time to go through all of this, but I want to go through a little bit of it. You said in the first bullet that I recorded, school efforts in the area of academic excellence and engagement is at the core of our operations at Franklin Elementary. I want to read that again, because I want to be instructive for the fam who are watching. You said school efforts in the area of academic excellence and engagement is at the core of our operations at Franklin Elementary. That's a powerful statement. There's so much. We could do a whole broadcast just on that alone. You said, with our district's mission and operations priorities in mind, and here you reference the Principal Conrad and I collaborated to design a school improvement plan that all staff had a leadership role in improving the academic performance of each student. That's a lot. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about that initial statement about the academic excellence and engagement being at the core of your operations at the school, but also that collaboration relative to the design of the school improvement plan, and how staff, the role they played in the development of that plan. Go ahead and take it over.
All right. So, so the plan starts with the team, right? And we set up clear goals at the end of the academic year, and, our teachers set up challenging goals, and they want a year's, at least some kids, it's more than a year's worth of growth. And we set up our plan and what we're going to do to achieve this. So we have those meetings, set up the goals, and there's a lot of talk about differentiated instruction, right? Because nowadays in the classrooms, there are kids of all levels, right? So we really need to, like you said, with equitable practices, meeting students where they are, as they are. And we're so fortunate to have an amazing team of coaches who really, help us drive that work. And they're phenomenal. And we have data teams that we do cycles that we, put on our schedule at the beginning of the year for the whole year. So it's already on our Google Calendar from when the academic year starts until June. All of those meetings are already booked, and we have to, what will be the goal? What are the strategies? How are we going to challenge the students? What are the common misconceptions that students face in this content? And then for our kids who are on the MTSS plan, how are we going to meet our students' needs, right? So we also have those meetings for those individual students. So we are always looking, of course, whole classroom growth and also individual student growth, right? It's very important because we have to challenge all of our kids at their levels. So that's really key. Of course, Eric and I, we do constantly pre and post, observations. We meet with the team, with the teachers. I love to do formals a lot too, because I love to talk about the planning, right? Because this is the time that I can really affect, did you think about this? And it's really more questioning the teachers, like, what are you thinking about this? How are you going to clarify misconceptions? And modeling, how are we modeling, right? Learning for our kids. How are we introducing the vocabulary? How are we going to assess the kids? Go back to the assessment, bring it back to the table. Let's look at students' work. Wow, a lot of kids didn't get this. Let's go back. Let's try new strategies. And it's awesome because our teachers, they have such a great relationship that they are open to feedback from their peers. And we also have instructional rounds, right? So our instructional rounds, it's really an effort for our teachers to visit other teachers' classrooms, which has been super empowering, and they are loving it. And we are doing it, so the focus, and we narrow the focus, maybe we have a couple focus. So let's look for, evidences of learning, what's teachers saying, what students doing, how are they engaging in the learning, right? So then we bring it back to the table. I also created another idea for assistant principals out there. I created thank you cards that says, for example, here, like, thank you, Principal Kafele. And then on the inside is like, dear Kafele, and then a blank page. And then on the side, there's like little checklists with all of the things that I see. So when it's that quick informal, I finish the observation and I put that thank you card on the desk. And then it's there for them. And I take a picture of my notes. And I put it on the drive so I can see trends, right? So that's what will create the next PD, right? So, for example, when Mr. Conrad and we initially became the principal and assistant principal at Franklin, we noticed that, the objective, the teachers, some were not clearly communicating the objective. So that was the goal. So, that was our goal. So now, so that's why it's very important to see trends within the building. And of course, we also have to individualize the needs of everybody, but it's important to see trends within the building so we can, move everybody cohesively in the same direction with intentionality, right? Based on the data that we are seeing in all of those fronts, right? The PST, data teams, instructional rounds, observations. So it's all of that combined data that will, really help drive change, right? So it's, I think it's that collaboration piece, and communicating those things accordingly with the team. It's also very important. So we can work together to create good, learning environments to increase academic engagement among our kids.
As I listen to you, I just can't help but reflect on my experience as an assistant principal, and how if I was in a situation like yours, where I had that kind of support and there was an understanding of the correlation between school culture and being able to having the time to be able to do the things that you do, that I would have gone into that principalship so much more prepared, better prepared than I was. All I knew was disciplining kids, supervising cafeteria during lunch periods, and loading buses, that type of thing.
Right.
But there's so much more to it. But I think, this is just my instinct that I'm speaking to someone out there on this call live, or someone who will watch the video later on, which is the bulk of our views. We get more people that watch the video than we get live, and the live numbers are good. But somebody out there, I really hope you're hearing everything that's being said, because in AP, this platform was created because I said the assistant principalship is the most misunderstood and underutilized position in all of education. If I didn't have that notion, these 205 Saturdays would not have happened. But because I had that notion that there's a problem with this position called assistant principalship, I created what was called the virtual AP Leadership Academy. But then a lot of them APs became principals, so I said I need to rebrand it, and we became the AP and New Principals Academy. I'm defining new principal as 5 years. So I'm saying that I'm kind of just talking to the folks out there. I want you to keep that in mind. You go back to work on Monday or after spring break, if you didn't have it yet, and ask yourself if you're not able to do the things that Arlette is talking about as it relates to instruction, as it relates to culture, as it relates to belonging, etc. All the things we've talked about. Then there's some important conversations that you've got to have with the leadership in terms of where we're getting it wrong and what are those things that we need to do differently in terms of getting it right. Now there was somebody here, Gian, that asked you a question. How many of your evaluative observations are announced versus unannounced? There's a lot of different perspectives with that. I want you to share yours, and I may share mine as well.
It depends. In my district, it depends on the cycle of the educator. There's different cycles. If it's a new teacher in the district, at least 4 formals. But then informals are as many as you want, right? You should do as many as you can. But the ones that you have to go in and put it in that system, there's a set number. But a lot of the tenure teachers, they have 3 informals throughout the year. But that's only the one that you will, once again, track in the system. But that doesn't mean you should be in the classroom as often as you can, in order to, because if you're not out and about and you don't see what's happening, you cannot make change. So you're not going to know any better, right? So very important to be in the classroom. But it depends on the teacher and the cycle.
Yeah, I'm with you there. To the same person, if I'm in the process of developing a teacher or a skill set within that teacher's practice, then my visits are announced because I'm trying to grow the teacher. I'm not trying to catch the teacher, right?
Mhm.
It's not a gotcha, it's a grow you. So
Right.
we're gonna discuss, and this is for the person that asked the question. We're gonna discuss those areas where we know that that teacher can become stronger, and then I'm gonna come in as a support to observe the lesson or observe whatever the behavior may be, and then we come back immediately and discuss it, strategize, talk about where the pluses were, where there's still need for improvement, all that kind of thing. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to do a cold call on that because I'm being methodical in helping you to grow in that particular area. So I'm
Mhm.
not worried about the formal observations in that process right now. That'll come right now. I'm just trying to make a phenomenal teacher, right? So that's my
Mhm.
2 cents of what you said was
What a
essential.
better way to connect to culture, right?
Yeah,
Because when you're in the classroom and seeing our kids in action, oh, you're going to be talking about it every time you see them. I'm so proud of you. You were doing this, you're doing that. And then I go outside when I dismiss. Let me tell you about Johnny in the classroom today. He was a rock star, and it's so important to be in the classroom and see how our kids are doing. Or no, the other way around. It's like, Laura really needs to practice her sight words. Make sure you have the sight word list and make sure you practice every night. Do you want some strategies? Put all around the room, get a flashlight and point to the sight words, and then you have fun with it. Like just giving parents tips. So very important to be in the classroom to make sure every time I pick up the phone to talk to the parent, I remember what did I see that child doing last. If it's playing kindly with their friends during recess, which is being back to our portrait of a graduate, being a good collaborator, communicator, lifelong learner. I always try to type those things in. Oh, this child's being a great collaborator, so very important to be in the classrooms for many reasons, and back to that belonging piece, right? Very important.
I love it, and mahalo to you as well, Kim. Appreciate you for that. Appreciate you for that. A lot of what you had sent me as far as talking points, I think we spilled over into much of it. So I don't need to belabor that. I want to go to this last one, lifelong learning, and I want to let me share this with the folks here. You said here, and there's three of these, and one of them is very short. Um, You said being a lifelong learner and understanding that learning never ends is crucial for school leaders. The aim to improve competencies and acquire knowledge through experiences, observations, mistakes, education, collaboration, and self reflection has limitless implications for personal and societal growth. Without me saying a word, I want to turn that over to you. What is your intended meaning there?
I'm a student. I'm a student of life, and I think education is the most powerful force that we have. Like just this moment, not right here, connecting with you. I was so scared. I have to be honest,
Yeah.
but I took a risk because I got this. He's awesome. I cannot miss this opportunity. And here I am, and I now I'm learning with you, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. It's just there's so much to learn, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the state, learn about another country, learn another language, and then more you learn, more you fall in love with learning, right? And like this work, the leadership work, it's consuming, but I'm constantly listening to you, reading books. It's just fascinating to me. There's so much to learn, and I think we have to bring that joy of learning to our students, and connecting with what they love, so that learning becomes contagious. And I think that's why I did the superintendency program, because I figure I became a better teacher when I finished. We called the O92 in Connecticut, the administrative studies. And I was like, I want to be a better school leader. And I knew that if I took the superintendency classes, it would give me a different view from a different angle, right? And that really helped me, learn in different ways and see it from different perspective from, the district leader. And it's so empowering. I think we are so lucky. We're just so lucky to have the opportunity to tell stories, teach our students. And it's truly a gift. I think being a lifelong learner and valuing the power of education. So we can do better. And actually, I want to kudos to our school psychologist, Laura Broder, this year for our PD. We are engaging our staff, and I already did it. We're sharing our stories. So every faculty meeting, one or two staff members share their story. And it's just being another way to connect our culture, embrace who we are, strengthen our relationship, and also continue to learn about each other, right? That's another way to be lifelong learners, is just like gain others' perspectives, right? Because I have the experience that I'm leaving, and also the story that we tell our minds, our insecurities and all of those things. But then when we start to gain new perspective, we're just so much stronger for it. And I think being a lifelong learner, I think it's it's when, like, what word am I? The word in the dictionary. Am I a lifelong learner? I always think about my word because of you. This drives me crazy with this word, but a lifelong learner it's a powerful word to me, because there's so much to learn, and it's just great.
I appreciate that. I want to go back to something you said a few minutes ago, because I want to make sure that nobody missed this. I read something you said, which I'm going to repeat in a second, but I read this and I had to read it again. It was your words. I said, huh, now that's different. Folks, Arlette just said something, and I just want to repeat what she said. She says she studied the superintendency, but she didn't say, unless it's to be implied, she didn't say that she studied the superintendency to become a superintendent. She didn't say that. Now, maybe that's in her long range plans, but that's not the point right now. Mm-hmm. What she said was, I studied the superintendency to gain a different perspective on the district. So she knew the district as she knew what she knew from the lens of a teacher. She knew what she knew from the lens of an assistant principal, and she's in the building with the principal. So there's certain things she's gonna learn just from being in collaboration with that principal. But she said, I wanna understand this from top down. So that kind of learning has nothing to do with I want to become superintendent. That kind of learning has to do with I want to gain a different perspective on what I do through that particular lens. So that gives lifelong learning just an altogether different meaning, right? I don't think, I studied the superintendency because I thought I was going to become a superintendent. I didn't look at it from the lens that you did. Right. And I find that just to be fascinating that you just had an internal desire to know the superintendency for that reason. Right. So, kudos to you for that, but it ties into this other bullet point you have here. And I just wrote it as this, how many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You said, I was born to serve my community, period. Let me say that again, somebody, because I know that there's someone out there that has the exact same sentiment. I feel strongly that that's why I exist in the professional realm, to serve, right? I was having a conversation with my daughter yesterday, and I was telling her that I unconsciously, not consciously, not deliberately, not purposefully, but I unconsciously created a brand for myself, my professional brand, where I'm just helping, I'm advising, I'm guiding, I'm leading, but I did not do that intentionally. That's not like I didn't sit around and say, what brand do I want to develop, right? I just kept giving and giving and giving based on my experiences with life, based on my reading, and it's what I have become. That's what people know me by, and I'm very good with that. So then when I read what you wrote, I was born to serve my community. Well, I say amen, because so was I. Let me give you all this last point, then I'm gonna turn it over to you. Some of you in the audience right now, you know that when I speak at conferences, when I ask, are there any AP and New Principal Academy fam in the room? And they all woohoo. So I bring them up to the stage or up front of the room when I finish my presentation, and I do a separate session to them that has nothing to do with the one I did. And it's so much more energy, so much more enthusiasm, so much more excitement, so much more passion. And sometimes I break down and I cry myself while I look at other people doing the same thing, because I'm doing what I was born to do. But the difference is these are the folks that tune in. So I really want to talk to them. So I get excited when I hear them, when I see them hands go up and I hear them voices. I'm one, hoo-hoo. I say, man, come on up here so we can take this picture. And now we can have a special kind of presentation.
I have that picture. I've been there. It's amazing.
It's one of my sites. I think it's my Twitter page. I think that you in that picture. So I'm saying all that to ask you the question. You say I was born to serve the community. How did you come to that conclusion?
It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. I'm so passionate about what I do. I just love going to work. And some days I don't even know if if the paycheck came, because I'm just so like driven about, the work. And I'm always thinking about the kids. How can we do this? Oh, I have an idea, and it's just so important. And there's so many pieces and parts to this job. That's why sometimes it feels a little overwhelming, but then you come to the realization if you just keep going and just do your personal best each day, and you have your heart at the right place, and you have the kids at the center of what you do, you will make a difference, and you are making a difference. It's a little story. I got a messenger, a Facebook messenger from my first grade student who's graduating from high school this year. And she said, Mrs. Johnson, you impacted my life in so many ways. And she went on and on talking about what she's doing, that she's starting a business, and she went on, and I want you to be my special guest at my graduation. I just started crying. Wow. I could not believe it. I was like, first grade. Did they even remember my name? So I know I made a difference in this kid's life and many kids' lives, because it matters. The work that we do matters. How we engage with our students matter. How we care for them matters, and our staff too, and our parents. So, and truly, I think the mission is to make the world a better place, right? For all of us, right? So if we put a lot of love into our children, it will continue to, because it's energy, right? The energy will continue to bounce, and serving the community is something that will leave beyond you. It's your legacy, and it's something that I take very seriously, and I'm just living my professional dream. I really am.
And I'm right there with you. I'm living mine. And Arlette, and I'm saying this to you, and I'm saying it to the folks who are on the call right now, as we're going to transition to those BAM impact questions. There's a lot of different people out here in the world who are doing their thing their way. And I want to caution somebody out there. You don't have to do what other people are doing. See, there's a lot of people doing big things. I can't do what they do. I'm not wired that way. I'm not built that way. I do what I do, and I do it my way. Right. So I'm saying to somebody out there, particularly those APs who may become a principal one day, you may not lead like that one and that one and this one and that one. You got to find your lane. And you got to find how that lane you find, how it coincides with who you are. Because see, a lot of how we lead is rooted in who we are personally.
Right.
Like just like this work I do on Saturday morning, which is not work, but this is part of my personality. This is who I am. So you don't have to be like the next one, or nor do you have to feel pressured to be like the next one.
Right.
You got to be you. But in being you, be the best you, right? And that's all we can ask for. Just be the best you toward bringing about change. But you don't have to look at that one and say, I need to do it like them. I need to be like them. No, it's like Melissa just said. I'm gonna put this on the screen too. It's okay to just be you, right? Just be yourself. So when you see me on Saturdays, when you see me out in the road, I'm just being Principal Kafele. I'm just being Baruti Kafele, but I'm gonna be the best Baruti Kafele. Here, Sheikah just gave another word, authentic. I'm gonna be the best me. I ain't trying to be that other one. I'm gonna be the best me, but you better best believe, and I'll end it on this note. I'm gonna be listening to everybody. Cause see, listen, y'all, I get these notes, and then I'm writing in the margins and so forth. I have a file of every guest that's been on here. I'm learning from the guest. Y'all don't hear me. Let me say it again. I'm learning from the guest. Arlette Mello Johnson was my university classroom this morning for me personally. She will see some of what she said in the next book. That's how that works, man. The next job. The next
Can I put that on my resume?
That's how that works, man. It's gotta be so big that we can't learn from one another. I don't know it all. So my guests teach me much. Even if they're younger than me, which I don't think I've brought on a guest that was older than me yet, right? So I'm learning from these young heads, man. That's how this works. So, and I'm not ashamed of that. I can boast about it, that I'm open to learning from other people who have done things that I have not done, right? So there we go. And I want to say one more thing before we go to our BAM questions. I want to highlight this wrong person, this young lady here, Joyce. Your Theo Hood. Joyce, let me say this to you. You have been a phenomenal guest, family member today. I've never seen you on here before. I don't know if you've watched or you're here for Arlette, or you're not one that comments, but I just love the things you've been writing. I love your transparency, and I want to personally invite you to stay connected to this platform. We're in week 205 right now, but we're gonna be all the way to week 500 at some point, right? Because I'm never gonna stop this thing. This is me. This Saturday is an extension of Baruti Kafele, Principal Kafele.
Thank you for that.
10:55 every Saturday morning, right? So let's go. Let's go to these BAM impact questions. We got 20 questions. One sentence or one word. Anything over, I'm gonna say too long, right? Here we go. Is education on the right path for underserved children?
Not yet.
Can true equity occur in America's schools for Black, Brown, and other underserved students?
Most definitely.
Does Arlette Mello Johnson's work contribute to the progress we desperately need?
Absolutely.
If you could do a reset on your life, would your line of work be different or the same?
The same.
Why do you continue to do this work?
I love children. I love my students.
What fires you up particularly within the work that you do?
My community.
What do you absolutely love about the work you do?
Seeing growth and progress in all areas.
What do you dislike about the work you do?
The long hours, the paperwork.
What has been your greatest victory in this work to date?
being a teacher for 6 years, 100% of my students moved from emergent readers to fluent readers in both languages, as a teacher, as an administrator, creating a caring school environment.
Wow. What was your greatest mistake in this work?
My insecurities, maybe not speaking when I should have.
What has been your greatest challenge in this work?
Maybe some people are resistant to change, but I'll take my time singing those love songs. So.
Take your time singing those love songs. There you go. Luke, are you proud of your first year as an assistant principal?
Yes.
Who inspires you in the work that you do?
My mother and you.
Oh man, I appreciate you. I do immensely. What are you reading right now? Book, blog, article, tweet, anything?
I'm reading the Principal 50 again. I read it before, but now I'm highlighting everything, some of the keywords. Another book that I'm reading, and I have all of the books, of course, everybody, you have to get, I have all of them, and I have all of them signed. Stay on Fire.
Wow.
And I love how you, the assistant, I don't know if folks know this, but the assistant principal identity was dedicated to us.
Yeah, that's
it
right.
It was dedicated to us who join in as part of this academy. So thank you. Any book was ever dedicated to me. So I thank you for that.
And I think I forgot to tell that to everybody that book, the dedication is written to the family.
Yeah, so that was very special. It was a nice surprise. And another book that I'm reading, it's How Not to Die. And I'm trying to be more mindful of what I eat, and just eating more plant-based foods and things like that. Wow.
So that sounds like a winner. So you answered actually the next one, which was what book do you recommend for our viewers? So we got that. So let's go. What do you want to accomplish that you have not accomplished yet?
I would love to be a school principal one day. That's a dream of mine.
It's coming. Are you satisfied with where you are professionally?
I am satisfied. I love every minute of it, but I do have aspirations to become a principal one day.
What could you say to a viewer out there who continues to face closed doors?
Pick up the mirror, right? And make sure the child's at the center, right, of your mission. And if it is, don't give up. We will have difficult days. Rely on people who care and watch the academy.
There you go.
You gain a lot of insight, a lot of good nuggets here.
What could you say to a viewer out there who's lost their fire?
Again, go back to your mission, right? And see if the children is not at the center of your why, see all your talents. There's so many opportunities out there to help the world in a different way. Education is not the answer for all.
Love it. Here's the big one. If Arlette Mello Johnson was a word in a dictionary, what would be your definition?
I was talking to my mother-in-law yesterday, and just kisses to my mother-in-law. I was like, oh my gosh, the word. So I think I'm passionate. I'm a very passionate person, especially in relationship to my leadership and the work that I do. So
passionate is your word. That's a good one. Look here, Arlette, you people were saying it throughout. You hit it out the park, man.
Yes.
And I see all the emojis.
I was worried about that.
Oh no.
I'm a big fan.
Folks got a head start and all these emojis coming, but for the folks that don't know, the way we thank and celebrate our guests is just give us your favorite emojis and put them on your screen, on your thread, and that way we both see them. So I see them coming. They're coming pretty strong and solid too. I bring my portable one. Let me clear my screen here. I bring my portable one when I'm on the road. So you hit it out the park. Home run, grand slam. Every time you came to bat, you hit those things out the park, man. So you took care of business. Let me clear my screen here. There we go. So Arlette, I don't know if you've entered the consulting business or not yet, but I know that one day, I'm sure, I feel positive, certain that you will. So, but in the meantime, there may be folks that just want to follow you on social media, connect with you. Let them know how they can stay connected to you.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, Arlette Mello Johnson, T-L. Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
There you go. So just go to Facebook, Arlette Mello Johnson, and you'll see her there and keep up with the work she's doing. And I feel extremely confident that you will see her in the consulting world at some point in her life. Maybe at one of the big conferences, including the one that recognized her, NAESP, National Association of Elementary School Principals, which I will be there this July. It's called the United Conference, NAESP, NASSP doing a joint conference, and I'll be there doing a pre-conference workshop and a follow-up session. I don't have the dates. It's July, right? In fact, I think it's 7 and 8, because then I'm at the 8 and 9, because it's 7 and 8, because then I'm doing my Institute 9 and 10. So y'all go to the website and check it out. I just found out my website is back up, so you can go to my website and check it out and join us. So, Arlette, any closing words that you want to share with the fam?
Yes, if it's okay with you, I created a long time ago a directory of all of your videos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so because sometimes it was difficult for me. I wanted to go watch a different one and I was not finding it quickly. So I created, it's a simple directory with it's Excel spreadsheet with the title and the hyperlink. Would it be okay if I share with everyone on the link?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
So it's a quick directory of all the videos. Actually, I have to catch up with you because I'm still, the last time I copy and paste, I was week 180. So I'm 20 minutes back.
We're going into 206 next week.
Yes.
So you're gonna put it in the Facebook thread?
Yes, I'll do that. Let me do that right now.
Okay. Here it comes.
I'll edit you the YouTube one. So I'll do it too. I'll do it later once we log out. I'll go back to and edit. Okay.
So folks, let me do my rundown and say first, thank you, Arlette, for everything. This was amazing. It was everything I expected and more. So this was in the feedback. I mean, it just keeps coming. I'm still reading it over there. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Those of you who were first timers, you came on because you were following Arlette. Now be a part of the family and stay here and go back to the AP and New Principals Academy YouTube channel. And you'll see all the videos there from week 1 all the way to week 205. Next week, I got a special guest, but I haven't. I'm having a hard time reaching him. So I'm going to say his name. His name is Henry Hamilton. He was my principal when I was in 7th and 8th grade, and he was Whitney Houston's principal when she was in grade school in East Orange, New Jersey. I'm assuming he'll be my guest. But I can't reach him right now. He's 85 years old, so having the cell phone to his hip might not be his thing, right? So right now, that's my guess. But if I don't reach him by Tuesday, it'll be somebody else. So Stallings, I know you there, but y'all on spring break, and that's the problem. So if you talk to him, let him know I'm trying to reach him. So other than that, we'll have somebody on here, or I'll be going solo. We'll see. But anyway. Sean Hurt every Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, Facebook Live, followed by Create and Educate with Dr. Sheikah Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor at 10:30. And then Josh Tovar, Unlock the Middle, Sunday nights at 7 with Dean Packard. That's our fantastic 4. Not 4 people. There's more than 4 of us, but 4 platforms. School Leadership School Leadership Institute with Principal Kafele, July 9 and 10. Make sure that you go down and register on principalkafele.com. You'll click the link. It'll take you to the Eventbrite page. And I hope to see you. 2 days of leadership, man. This is where it's at. Black Educators Rock Conference, July 18 through 21 in Houston. Go to rockconference.org. My books, all my ASCD books are on Amazon, or you can go to ascd.org, either one. But get yourself a copy of, I've got 9 books that ASCD published, and I'm writing number 10. No, I wrote number 10. I just haven't given them the manuscript. but I'm writing number 11 in the month of May. I took the month of May off, except somebody called me the other day. They said, we want you to be on a program with Shannon Sharp on Shay Shay. I said, oh, you going to put me on a program with Shay Shay? All right. I wasn't going to speak in May, but if it's with Shannon Sharp, I'll be there. So that's going to be in Houston on May 17th. So I'm going to be there hanging with Shay Shay, right? And then where we at here? Subscribe to the AP and New Principals Academy YouTube channel. Like and follow the AP and New Principals Academy Facebook page. And then make sure that you visit principalkafele.com. Lastly, your diet, exercise, and virus precautions. I don't even have to say COVID no more, just whatever's out there, right? They're trying to get me to take that shingle shot. Every time I go to the drugstore, you get your shingle? So I got to get that in, right? I guess. I don't know. I got so much of this stuff in me right now, all these different vaccines, man. It's frightening. But anyway, take care of yourselves, y'all. You know, eat right, exercise right, and whatever you got to do to keep the viruses out of you, do that as well. Other than that, I'm glad you're here. And I look forward to seeing you next week for week 206 consecutively, by the way, consecutively, not when I can get on, but consecutively 206. I've been in front of this computer, this camera, or my other camera at home, but some camera speaking to you all. No, forget that word. I don't like that word speaking. Teaching. That's my word now. Teaching. After all, the word Baruti translated means teacher, right? So other than that, I'll see you all next week. Have a great week. Have an extraordinary week. Have your best
week yet.
Peace. Peace. Thumbs up. That fist back. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Love to see you, fam. You know that routine.
I'm a fan.
That's right. That's right. I see y'all next week, man. I look forward
Bye,
to
everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter.
On spring break, enjoy it. Yeah, happy Easter to you. That's right.
Easter.